cricket gear today. Actually, this is a rugby hat, but it's South Africa. My South African cricket shirt, because we are the World Test champions. So all my cricket fans out there, I know that Sam from Growfitter is a huge cricket fan. A couple of other cricket fans out there. So big shout out to us, baby. We finally won a trophy. So I may cry in this if we talk about this anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's give a shout out to the tens of people that are cheering with James. This wonderful
if you are a cricket fan, just put it in the chat and let's show Chase what a real sport is, my man. Look at that.
Cooler hats. I'm going to give a big shout out to the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. They sent me this hat. It's a MILB team, a minor league baseball team. My buddy plays for them. They sent me the hat. I told them I'd wear it this week and shout them out. If y'all are watching, shout out to y'all. I hope y'all make it to the playoffs this year. If not, there's always next year.
Shout out. Is that a baseball team?
It's a baseball team. So kind of like cricket. You know what I mean? I mean, we're kind of the same.
It's actually weird. I saw my Instagram feed gave me a dude who tests baseball bats today, testing a cricket bat. And he was sending those balls 374 I guess it was yards. I don't know. He's just saying numbers. 374 and 93. So 93 is obviously the speed of the pitch, and 374, I guess, is how far he was sending it. So anyway, what's up, Chase? What's up, John? Welcome to the show, guys.
Yo, what's going on?
First off, I do have to just shout out John. Thank you so much. We were running into kind of a scheduling conflict. We had somebody planned, but we wanted to promote the hackathon, and then we had somebody planned, and John kind of came in and just saved the day for us. So thank you, John, for taking the time out of your morning. I know it's earlier for you than it is me. I just wanted to say I appreciate you as always. So thank you, my man.
You got to remember, man, I'm a big fan of you guys. I love coming on here.
What a man. Mustafa, our email wizard, has I don't think he got my intro, but he has noticed the jacket. So thank you, Mustafa. You see, people notice, Chase. People notice.
On screen.
We got raw material. Shout out to you. I want Super to pump. Well, don't worry, my friend. And what do we got? We got Lapami, a cheer to all. Thank you, sir. Playboy up first. Yes, good comment, bro. Well done, well done. Martin Gerritsen, afternoon, people. Thank you, Martin Gerritsen. You're related to Martin Garrix, or is that a shout out to Martin Garrix? What else we got? Right, okay, so we'll leave it at that. So, gentlemen, we're going to start off with a couple of community posts. So take us away, Chase.
Yeah, so let's shout out the best community post of the week that we did see. Obviously, I tell y'all when we do these, please send them to me. I can't see everything. We cannot just be sitting on Twitter all day and night, or X, pardon me. But if you do see something that you think is funny, please send it to me. I will make it a side quest. I want to promote the community. I want to promote you guys as much as possible. Y'all are doing work for us. Y'all are doing work for Supra. So if you do have any cool community insights, posts, threads, memes, send them to me. I want to post them on here. I want y'all to get some love. I want the community to show you some love too. So just keep that in mind moving forward. But number one is AK on Chain. Big shout out to you. I see you in the Discord all the time. I do talk to you pretty, I guess I would say on a weekly basis. I don't see you every day, but you are in the Discord a lot. So hello. And his meme is, what are you most excited about? Supra EVM or Supra AutoFi? Please leave a sup if you are here, with the classic hand hitting the button. Supra EVM and AutoFi. For me, I think it's going to be AutoFi, if you're asking me.
It's actually a tough one, right? What about John? What do you think? I mean, like EVM, there's so many EVM developers, and obviously AutoFi changes the game. So it's like, which one is most exciting right now?
Yeah, I was like, so I like AutoFi as the idea of, like you're saying, like the ability of being able to do things that weren't possible for, like being able to do like an auto payment or something like this, and type of like the idea, but putting it into like a Web3 type spill. I love that idea. But I am really excited for EVM. I think EVM's going to be the top of the food chain right now for me, because it brings so much more ecosystem here. There's nothing but benefit. Come use us, right? I mean, it's coming literally. I'm not kidding you, and I'm going to spoil this right now. We're literally either going to be posting today or tomorrow on getting our alpha for everyone. So come use it, please. Come check it out. You get to reap the benefits.
That is super sick. And I do kind of want to pivot off what you were saying there, John. You were most excited about EVM, and you do have a developer background. You work a lot with our developers. the people that I see in Discord, especially in our price discussion channel, which is a great channel within our Discord, there's a lot of great information and thoughts, thought-provoking discussions go on in there. But a lot of them talk about EVM kind of being that thing that they want to happen to Supra, that they do see that kind of being the difference maker within Supra. Is that what you feel as well from the development side?
100%. It's right. One of the big things that, right, you got to remember, where do you generally start, right? And I always reference this as like an idea of like, okay, so when you think about the idea of people who starting in general, right? You start basically at knowing Bitcoin or Ethereum. Those are the two top of the food chains. If anyone starts to then learn what proof of work is, they go, okay, well, let me start learning what proof of stake is. Then they start learning how basically proof of stake can actually be utilized through a thing called smart contracts and how basically the whole entire ecosystem works, right? And so when you start to kind of like look into there, generally that's where you start, right? Why? It's because it's the most well-backed. You have the most amount of support side to it. But the problem is everyone comes to there and goes, I need to leave, right? I need to go to L2. I need to go to a, because you don't see, like, you kind of just go into Ethereum and you find out, oh man, like I'm congested. I can't go anywhere. How am I supposed to develop on this, right? So they look for alternative solutions and they look for really popular names, and that's where it kind of starts. And then, this is why I'm excited, because, you've got one L1, several different VMs. It's like it's an intuitive answer. How many do you have a camera inside your pocket and a way to call in your other side? It's like, no, you have them all in one, right? Why? It's an intuitive answer that Supra just knows what we're supposed to do. And I was like, it's clear as day for me, and I'm excited for people to come and start using it.
I love that answer. Thank you for giving me like obviously you could have made that a short answer, but I'm glad you elaborated a little bit, because somebody like me, I'm a dummy. I'm a big bozo, right? I'm not a developer. I'm not a builder. What I do, I like cool shit, and I like supporting people that build cool shit. So when I hear you talk about it and elaborated why you're excited about it, being a developer, being a builder, it makes me bullish, even though I'm not. You know what I mean? So thank you. Thank you for giving me a little bit more insight there.
John is basically like the bullish representative for Supra. I mean, that's why you're our go-to guy, man.
Here's the thing, right? I've been on Near, I've been on Aurora, I know how the L2s work. I know, because I was super curious back then, right? I just really wanted to develop. I've been on Ethereum. I've used their testnet for Sepolias. I've used Gurley. I've used it all. I understand how it works. I've been on Rust's L1, type of L1s. I've done it all. It's the point that like you come back and you just stand from a bird's eye view and you go, oh yeah, I guess that's, you didn't think about that, right? And it's like, if you're trying to adopt, right, what do you need to do, right? You ultimately need to aim for how to make it convenient. It's like I used to always say, and it's like my perfect statement is L2 convenience, but with Web3 security. I mean, that's what we want, right? That's how you spread adoption. And I think that's where Supra is going to be trying to aim towards.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Absolutely love it. Also, I want to give a shout out. I see some super active community members that I talk to every day, especially Crusader. Shout out to you. I also see Bolex in there in the chat. I also see Futura Meridia. I talk to you pretty often as well. Martin, hello. Thank you for being here today.
He's got a good question. We're going to get into that question. He also wants me to use wants me to use the CH sound from Dutch or Afrikaans in yacht. So there you go, yacht. Old Chase, when he finally hits it big, is going to be cruising on his yacht. We'll get year's time at max. A year's time at max. All right, so let's continue with X post of the week. This one comes from Dollar Fantasy. Dollar Fantasy says, Supra isn't just a blockchain. It's a movement powered by trust, driven by the community. That's right. People like you guys in the chat right now, those of you that are part of this community, you're the guys that are driving us forward. Also put together a cool little video. So Dollar Fantasy, appreciated that, man. Thank you very, very much. Also got some cool replies there as well. So you had some good engagement there. Definitely worth a shout out. So thank you, brother.
I'm actually
sister, whoever it may have been.
Yeah, thank you for posting this, actually. And if they are on this, I'm going to turn this into a side quest within the Discord. What I like to do, I like to find community-driven posts, create community-created content, and we like to send our community to go rate it for you, get some new followers, get some love. So I will do that. That's a super cool video. I haven't seen it. So thank you, James, for finding it and putting it up.
Anytime, bro. I got your back, bro.
Thank you. And moving on to the next one, 0x Sada Q. The classic Drake meme. I mean, we all know it. We all love it. They say, I'll keep shouting about Supra Labs because the vision is clear, the tech is solid, and the execution speaks for itself. You can fade it if you want, but don't say you weren't warned with the classic Drake point. Yeah, shout out to Sadie Q. Love it.
Also, just have to make a quick point. I mean, huge respect to Sadie Q. Thank you. But don't forget that M dash, that really long dash. Like, I mean, you could have written this yourself. I am not doubting you, but just remember that AI LLMs use that M dash all the time.
You can also you can also do it, like, you can make them happen in Word doc. I don't know if they didn't write this in a Word doc, obviously.
An M dash is there, they're available, but just a reminder that if you are using the LLMs and the M dash is there, I would just remove it. It's the #1 giveaway. So just a quick pointer for those of you that are creating content.
James, just to clarify what you said, are you trying to allude that they used ChatGPT to be able to write this post?
No, sir, I'm not.
I think that's exactly what he's saying.
But
or
wait
maybe
a
he asked
second.
them to write it better.
If they are, we at Supra, who are the L1 for AI agents, we encourage the use of AI. So that's okay. But obviously, when it comes to the content that you're putting out, you just want to make it look like you were the one that wrote it. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to stop digging myself into a hole now. Chase, what's the next one, brother?
The next one, we are moving into, actually, this is some ecosystem news that you wanted to talk about on the Permissionless Hackathon, my man.
Oh, right. Of course. You gave us 0x Sadie Q. So we will start with the hackathon. Going to run through a whole bunch of things happening in the ecosystem. So this weekend, the Supra Permissionless and Cracked Labs hackathon kicks off. We are inviting all the keyboard warriors and the keyboard builders to come together because we have a $15,000 prize pool for the Supra bounties at Permissionless IV. It is hosted by Cracked Labs. It is in person. It's in Brooklyn, New York City. It's happening this Sunday and Monday, June 22nd, June 23rd. I really wish I could be there, guys. Unfortunately, I can't. Chase will be there, though. You guys can start looking at our docs. We have solutions. We have guides. Think about all the problems that you can solve and what you can build. John K and our DevRels are also here to help you guys out. So we're going to get into this shortly. But John K, are you going to be part of the judging process or involved in the hackathon at all?
Yeah, so sadly not. I will not be a part of it, but just so you guys know, I'll be there in spirit.
I'll have John. Actually, I have a pocket designed for my T-shirt to where John is just FaceTime walking everywhere with me.
Yeah.
He'll be right here.
He made a little head for me, and it sticks out of his little pocket, and he calls me, and then I just kind of like pop up. But don't worry, I'll be there in spirit, guys.
He will be there in spirit.
I will pay you to wear a South African cricket pin.
Brother, if you send me, I will. Dude, how many times have I said that? I am easily bought. I don't give a shit. I will wear anything somebody sends
All right.
me. I do not care.
On its way. It's on its way. I have your Supra address. It is on its way, bro.
I love it. I'll wear it. I promise.
Well, let's go, man. All right. What's next?
Yeah, so next is Supraland. So a new liquidity portal on Supra is coming to testnet. They're brand new and are almost ready to go live on testnet. If you are in the Discord, I made them a quest a couple days ago. I hope that y'all did go and follow them and check them out. They already have a considerable community. They have some pretty epic rewards and even have an agent kit too. Make sure you follow them at Supraland and keep an eye out for when they're live on testnet. Again, their X handle is Supraland, and go be sure to check them out.
Couple of comments coming through. Martin again wants to talk about NFT projects, so we'll go with that. He also
asked for my postal address.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say he wants your postal address.
Hey, DM me on X and let's talk. If you're trying to send me some fun stuff, I got a PO box for you.
0x Crusader is back. I know you gave him a shout out, but a shout out to you, bro, because you did say sup, Chase, James, and John. So thank you, sir. Mandarin Quinn says, hey, Supra. Thank you, Mandarin. And Supra Quarters. Sup to you, Supra Quarters. And Spunky Sam. Sup. Nice name, Spunky Sam. Okay, so what else is happening in the ecosystem? Dexlin have big news. Perps, perpetual swaps, are coming to Dexlin very, very soon. Every perpetual trade is going to happen on chain. That includes order placement right up to execution. They're boasting near 0-second pricing updates, of course, all powered by Supra's oracles. Limit orders built in. Every trade counts towards season 2 scores. If you're taking part in their community program, then that means you're going to have your trades counted towards season 2 scores. So big news, perpetuals are coming to Dexlin. John, I'm curious, man, have you ever traded perps on a Dex before?
Oh yeah. That's actually, I think I brought it up in the last thing, but yeah, that's where I started, right? So I used to use, so before they had KYC, really, that actually got like, they had KYC, but like it wasn't like a big thing. I used to trade with that gentleman named CryptoFace, and I would go on Bybit, and then I switched eventually to Femex. And during that time, it was the easiest thing in the world. There was an address already there. You send the address over to it. You start basically trading. I would trade around, it would be a $2,000 trade USD, and then I would 5X it. So I'd have a $10,000 trade, and I would trade. And, obviously, as you start to increase your 10X, the possibility of getting liquidated is higher, but you have more opportunity to make money. And I used to do really well. Yeah, I loved it. It was an awesome thing to do, especially too, because one of the nice parts about blockchain is that, right, like when you go into normal, let's just say as an example, I'm just trading like if somebody wants to trade Tesla or something, right? It stops at a certain time and it ends at a certain time. So, right, generally, sometimes the pockets are very much right in the beginning of the day, or it's towards the end of the day. It's generally mornings, though. Like I used to know a guy who used to scalp trade. He used to go from 6 a.m. to 6:30. That was it. He never went any farther past from Monday to Friday. But that's when the action actually comes, right? That's not how it works for blockchain, right? Blockchain's 24/7. 7 days a week. It's the best thing ever. As long as you can see opportunities, which is really hard to do, but if you can, you start looking at the maps, you start learning how, ceilings work and how, floors work, and you start basically figuring out how wedges and, you'll see like bullish flags and all. You learn these type of strategies, you start getting an indicator. I mean, it's substantial. I'm super excited.
How are on-chain perps on a DEX different to centralized exchange perpetuals?
Yeah, so this is really exciting. So, right, one of the big things, right, is that when I used to have the trade all the time, right? One of the problems that sometimes it would happen is when you would have to do a limit order, or you would do some sort of like a market sell, right? So you'd sell out in the market at a certain time that you felt comfortable with. I've had times where it sounds crazy, but even a few seconds, right, would change everything for me. So like now let's just start. Okay, let's think about this idea real quickly. We talk about Supra, we talk about all these opportunities they have, right? And it just sounds like I'm just saying it. Now let's actually go back and let's look at the architecture of how you would build this out, right? Well, number one, right, you need to be able to have price action, right? So how do you build price action? Well, you need an oracle, right? So you need some sort of a component that actually can read this, right? The price goes up, price goes down. Funny enough, if you see inside the thing, they said powered by super oracles, right? So the good part, right, is it's built into layer 1, right? Which means, right, there is no third-party service. I'm not worried about somebody taking information elsewhere because we derive it ourselves. Now, if you take into the same idea too, and if you learn the architecture about how Super Oracle works, right, what we do is we source it from several different prices, and we figure out what the most up-to-date one is, right? And then we basically have a consensus of our own between the prices, and that's basically is going to be the current price. And so, right, you have that. And then you have to understand, okay, well, how do you even make this possible, right? And this is what people don't understand, right? Dexlin uses automation to be able to run the stop losses, everything. Well, how does that work, right? That's worked all again in Supra's native L1. You don't have to go with third-party service. I don't have to pay for this. It's all built in. You get literally the accessory. So as a person who's building, they get to walk into this ability of doing it. And so there is zero lag delay, right? We are on the same execution layer, which means you do not have to go ahead and lose money and take opportunities. I'm telling you right now, a 5 seconds is literally between $10 to it could be $1,000. Sounds crazy, I know, but you got to remember, right? When you have a high trade, I mean, I've seen literally like I bring the example before, right? CryptoFace, right? I mean, I'll see him, 5x, 2x really is what he will stop at. But like he'll have $1 million trade. I mean, that 1 second can lose everything, right? I mean, that's how it is, right? But you have to be scared of these things, right? Because when you have to understand, right, this isn't regulated, right? So people have, right, liquidity, buys and sells, and if somebody has a lot more sell than it buy, it's going down. And when people get scared, they don't really understand, right? There's actually a mentality of how this works. I've taken classes on it, right? I mean, these are things you have to kind of think for, and it's, you know, I don't know, it's very exciting to see. It's just, I mean, it's the only play. I mean, how else can you build this, right? You're going to use a third-party exchange that goes on to Chainlink? No, right? Why would we do that? Why would we give ourselves a half solution, right? Go to Supra, have it already built into a layer one. It's an intuitive answer. Again, I love it. This is exciting. I like how they're already starting to see and starting to make adjustments. Excellent. Props.
I love how you just. I love how he just throws in the sort of euphemism, I don't know, you know, as part of his conversation. Meanwhile, he's just giving you like a whole whack of knowledge. And you're like, whoa, bro, you actually do know.
You do know.
My man.
Yeah, you do know.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because a lot of people don't know these things. And it's like, you know, obviously, how would you know that, right? I mean, right, you think like an auto payment. Auto payments aren't, you have to create some form of automation to be able to do that, right? That doesn't just come out of thin air, right? So in Web 2, right, that's what we use. Well, that's what we're integrating into the idea of Web 3, right? Remember, the idea of integrating the convenience of Web 2, but with the security of Web 3. This is literally what Web 3 is going to be eventually.
And we're at the forefront, and we love to see it. Thank you again, John. I mean, good Lord. Shout out to Martin again. He said the beer will probably get warm that he ships me. Brother, I'm from Texas. I'm no stranger to drinking warm beer. Okay, you take a cold beer out of the refrigerator, it's warm by the time it hits your desk. Okay, so
it's better than no
warm beer. I'll drink a warm beer on cam. Do not care. Shout out to Yugi, sup to all the gentle bros and sisters. Daniel, hello, good morning. Cucking, Supra, hello, sup, and Keyshaw, what it do, baby? Also
Keyshaw.
A fellow Supra employee. Love to see you here. And yeah, this I had to give the shout out where I saw. Pixudi, we'll move on to the next. So Pixudi have a new article on Medium. Also, I do want to announce that a month ago they released a pretty in-depth update, and we do also have a community game night coming up where we will have the community playing Pixudi in a tournament, and there will be prizes. There is no entry. You just come and enjoy it. We had a great time playing it as a team, so I want to kind of extend this out to the community. More info coming on that after Permissionless, because I will be gone next week. So let's dive into the introduction to Move and the Supra Network and explore cutting-edge Web3 tech. Read and subscribe for exclusive cash contests for subscribers. The article is on their X profile, so please go and check it out. And I said I wasn't going to be giving you any cash prizes for the community tournament for Pixudi, but there will be prizes. I'm just not going to give y'all any cash prizes. If you're looking for cash, go enter whatever Pixudi is doing as well. I hope to see y'all enter this tournament. It was super fun. John was there. James was not. So James, for the next one, you have to be there.
I don't think I was there. I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for a cricket game online. I'm waiting for a cricket on.
I probably would have won.
Oh no, you backed out last minute, John. Remember?
Did I?
Yeah. You were like, I can't do it today. You were like, I'm recording like 12 videos.
Oh,
like,
okay,
well, we're gonna miss you.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember.
We pulled Jason in, who had just started, like his first day, for you that day.
Oh. Well, that's because I didn't want to beat everyone and then
okay.
So I mean, I saw Lou what happened last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, anyways, Einstein. Okay,
Pixudi's super fun. We had a great time, and yeah, it's coming to the community.
All right, John, with that, as you continue to boast your way through how good you are at on-chain gaming, we're going to kick you out now for that, and it's just going to be Chase and I.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding, buddy. I'm kidding. Right. So, John, let's get into what we want to talk about this week. The hackathon coming up this weekend. You have vast experience in developing and in programming. You gave us all of that history a couple of weeks ago. So as we get closer to permissionless happening next week, obviously we spoke about the partnership with Cracked Labs and Blockworks. We have a $15,000 prize pool starting this Sunday. John, what I want to know from you, what does it take, in your opinion, as someone who has a whole bunch of experience in programming, especially in Web3, what does it take to be seriously competitive in a hackathon like this?
Yeah. So the way that I like to kind of discuss this idea first is going to be explaining kind of like about a hackathon, right? Because it's one of the things that originally we kind of run into. And it's, if you guys have been in a hackathon previously, it's kind of like misguided in a lot of ways. I've been in hackathons before. You kind of get a team. I did the ones that were online. I didn't go in person or anything, but like I did the ones that were online. You go through a thing. You have to wait to go speak to somebody. You have to get a random team. You have to hope that basically that you got a front end, you got this developer, you got this. And one of the things that really gets harsh is that you feel like sometimes it's a little misguided, right? And so what you run into is that there's not really fair prompts. It feels like, you kind of get told, like I was in one, and won't say the actual name, but they said, oh, just use our product.
No, say it. Say it.
Can I
No,
say it?
just kidding, don't say it.
Oh, I was like, do you want me to call them out?
No.
And so I've been in before. And so what they basically say is, just build something. Use our product and build something. It's like, well, what does that help me with, right? How am I actually supposed to know? So one of our goals, was through Daniel, if you guys haven't, met him yet already, but Daniel, we've got it for Jatin, Nolan. The goal was to be able to make it very clear, right? To help basically people with the idea of understanding where they can get all their stuff, what exactly our expectations are. So we have 3 total bounties, right? Our first bounty is going to include the idea of automation, right? What we want you to do is bring something automation, and I'm going to kind of elaborate on these a little bit more, but I'm going to briefly go, explain the bounties. The second one's going to be bringing up some sort of an AI, right? AI agents, bring up something to help do these. The last thing was help the community, right? Basically, it is build SDKs, build tables, build all these different options, right? And so one of the things is we want to make it very clear is I try not to explain exactly use cases, right? And because then exactly the people think like, oh, this is all we have to do, right? Then we'll win, right? It's like, no. So, right, one of the ways I want you guys to think about is when you develop, right? You develop for the other people that are going to help join Supra, right? And so one of the things I want you guys to do is I take it from the, if you guys have ever seen Shark Tank, right? Shark Tank approach, right? What you do is you go in to do something, go start building on Supra. Get to a point and say, I don't like this. I wish I could make it better. And start using that as an incentive, right? So use a pain point and figure out how to make that better, right? These little things like this that help push forward, right? Automation, right? How do we integrate this automation to make this easier that we can do this X, Y, and Z? How, we want more transparency. Okay, well, help us build something right now. It sounds crazy, I know, guys. If we were to hire the whole world, I feel like we still wouldn't have enough time and we still wouldn't have enough people. We literally, the amount of innovation that's happening in Supra is insane, right? Start building something, guys, that you guys can see what other people see. Is you see a pain point, I promise you, they are also the same thing. It's the same idea. If you have a question and no stupid questions at all, but like if you raise your hand, right, and you're in school and you're like, do I feel dumb? And it's like, I promise you, half the team, half the class is also saying the same thing. So ultimately, I want you to go through the process, go through step by step, and figure out what the pain points are there. What don't you like? What do you like? Start integrating. Start being, really be out of the box, right? Automation really isn't something I'd love to know, right? Name another L1 that has automation built in. You don't. You're not going to be able to find one, right? So take these type of options, right? Look into the idea of security and making people feel comfortable, right? Remember, we're trying to build for the next people, right? We want Supra to grow. We want people to come and join here. We want people to be excited for Supra. And so how do we basically incentivize? So you want to be able to build something not just for yourself, build something that maybe you love, right? You think can be a major difference in this ecosystem, in the community. Build something that we want to make different, and we want to revolutionize the idea of Web3, right? Help the next person next to you.
Dude, I think that's such an awesome point you bring up, like build something you love. And like we always talk about this, it's like, if you're building something that you love, and what you can build on Supra is like, you've never been able to build anything like this before. Like, and I'm coming from the NFT space. I know I mentioned this, but like, if I were to be coming to Supra and I had all these ideas for an NFT project, let's say the project that I built on Ethereum in 2021, there was multiple things that I wanted to do that I wasn't able to do. If I were to put in real life transitions using Oracle data, if I was to put in automation, making it to where you had to feed your pet, like all these cool ideas we could have been implemented, but it was not possible. It was a thought, right? And like, obviously you want to just push the envelope every so often, especially with projects like the NFTs, but now it's like actually able to do so. People are actually able to go in and create these projects that were unable to be done before without using tons of external sources or just in general. So to hear you say build something you love, I think that's where it has to start. Hey, build something you love and the rest will fall in place, or usually does, right? It's like,
Yeah.
if you put the work, the time, the effort, and the love into it, a lot of the times it's going to work out no matter what. So I love that you said that. And the hardest part is getting started, especially if you're moving chains. I mean, that's a really big deal, man. Like, I've been on Ethereum for 10 years or 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is. It's like, do I really want to go to Super and build something new? Like, that's a big transitional change, not only for a career, but a developer. And that's rough to do. But I think what you're trying to say is, once you do make the transition, you'll be like eyes wide open type of situation.
Well, the good part about this, right, is that there's not really a lot of transition, right? Think about it real quickly, right? Let's just say Ethereum, right? The amount of commitment you have to do is literally add another network in. That's literally it. I mean, if you go into your file, you pack into your network, make sure it's super EVM, and be able to put in two things: an RPC and a chain ID. That's it. I mean, literally, and then do the deployment, test it out, run everything you need to do. Now, I would say, especially getting started, kind of like, can be annoying. One of the nice things I would say is that it's sometimes actually it's a lot less legwork. There's a lot more support with it, but Move is a lot less legwork. Why? It's because I don't need a testing framework, right? I can test everything inside my actual environment, which is really nice, right? Because if you just, normally, right, what you do is in Ethereum, EVM specifically, if you go and use Solidity, I have to use either some sort of testing framework. So that means either Hard Hat. It used to be Truffle, if you guys, the OGs used to know. It's deprecated now, but Foundry, have some sort of, like, there's all these different options, right? But it's kind of a lot more legwork. I have to learn how to do that. I've got to learn how to do a deployment to get my address. There's all these things. It's like you simplify the process. And I think it's like eventually, like, aim into the future of the idea of what do you think is going to be aiming towards more secure, in terms of, so safer for obviously you and your people who are going to come and join you. You have to start thinking about the future of these things. It's great, and a lot of people, it's intuitive to use, EVM and all these spots, but sometimes also it's like, okay, well, maybe try something new, right? I mean, people who don't make a move will be always stuck in the same position, because we are we're creatures of habit, right? We do the same thing, rinse and repeat. That's what we enjoy to do. Try something new.
I love that. And that kind of like segues into my next question, and basically to build something new. And so, like, let's bring it back to the hackathon. Let's talk about this. What ideas do you have for builders who may want to partake in this hackathon? And do you maybe want to, like, talk about the bounties a little bit more here, and maybe give some examples, or maybe some soft ideas that maybe you had?
Sure. So, like, let's stick off the first one. So the first one's going to be automation. So let's talk about what exactly we expect for automation, right? What is the goal of automation? The automation is to automate, right? To make a process simpler. So one of the things that I love to talk about, this one's my favorite use case. If you guys saw the permissionless, talk, I was kind of bringing it up previously, but something that we've talked about multiple times. It could be a really strong, usable piece of work that something always gets done, but like the ability of having a wallet. So let's just say, as an example, right? I'm to this day, right? I'm not kidding you when I say the amount of where I have to put my passwords, how I have to do it. It's a scary thing sometimes, right? I mean, imagine guys coming over there. You see these guys online all day long. They'll go, oh yeah, I paid, something for Bitcoin a long time ago, 200 Bitcoin. And now I still have like 100 and it's stuck in a wallet. It's like, okay, well, so then what do you do with it? Right. And so, my whole thing is like, they have these guys and they try to do some pretty creative stuff. I don't know if you guys ever seen those videos before, where they go and grab a flash drive and it's like a big spiel. Anyways, the whole point of it is it gets down to a point where you go, okay, well, what should we build? Well, automation, right? Imagine your wallet and having a safety net for it specifically. Like, let's just say, as an example, something happens, you're worried about what, something's gonna, your wallet hasn't been active, you forgot your password. What do you do? So what you do is you innovate the idea of having the option of sending some of this funds, let's say the rest of your funds, to another address. And what you do is you have to allow the ability of saying you haven't had seen or checked out your, just as an example, you haven't checked out your wallet in the last year. So what do? You have to be able to send it to another smart contract address. The smart contract address will then go to another wallet to keep it secure. And so then you at least always know as a safety net you have that. But that's only through the power of automation, right? You could do that. Additionally, just think about it like this too. If you have a third-party service to do this, you'd have to make sure that you're currently paying for that. Well, if I forget in a year, then my smart contract's now dead. And now I can't do it because I had to run only one deployment, right? So just FYI. The next thing is AI, right? AI, one of the things that I think about, right, is go into the idea of thinking about in AI, right? What is the goal of it generally? What do you normally use ChatGPT for, right? Well, you try to use it to have it help other people who don't know how to do a process, right? So maybe you go through it and you go, guys, I don't like the way our CLI works, right? So then you say, okay, well, how do we fix this to where anyone can use this development, right? So maybe what you do is you use AI to be able to help simplify the process by telling it what to do rather than you having to forcefully do it, right? And understand these different things. Maybe you set it up for the people, right? And I think these are little adjustments that you want to do to help others, right? The last thing is, and I see this a lot, right? I mean, the last thing is going to be like, what should we build for the community, right? And I was talking about the pain points and like trying to go into these different things. One thing that I would say is go and start trying to build something like maybe a dashboard for us. I mean, I see sometimes people talk about, oh, transparency. If you feel like there's something that's maybe less transparent, you want to add some sort of stuff, you do it, right? I mean, come and show us how this works. Show us what you want to be able to kind of see, because, sometimes we're not mind readers on these things. And so it's like, kind of jump into there and start kind of showing off things that you wouldn't be able to normally do. And so these are kind of like little ideas. Again, I don't really want to say exactly things because some of them are so specific that it may not even help, right? I mean, there's ideas into NFT to auto, being able to take the idea of an NFT into automation, AI, all these things, having it automatically be able to develop a smart contract on there, rebuild, be able to do this for somebody so they can always create it. I mean, like, there are a ton of different things. The question is, what exactly are your expectations? What do you really want to build, right? How much, you only have a certain amount of time, and so you have to kind of like utilize that time for as much as you can.
Okay, so
wow. I do want to hop in here. I'm sorry, James, to interrupt you, but you're talking about automation. Somebody just commented, I lost 2 Bitcoins because I lost my private key in 2011. Think about that.
Oh, bro.
It's a scary thing.
I mean, that's a life-changing amount of money, legitimately.
Oh, man.
Like $200,000 could change 99% of people's lives right now, and automation can fix something like this. John, we had talked about this the last time we had you on. Yep. It's like a built-in will. If my trading wallet goes completely dark for a year, 6 years, wherever, transfer it here. Right? It's like, boom. Okay, well, now it's transferred here. What if that wallet's dead too? Well, hopefully they have automation set up on that wallet too. But you get my point here. It's like it's helping revive the dead. And this is something that has never been able to be done before. And I think it's just a huge implementation of an idea that had never been possible, which is incredible to even think about.
Yeah, and even if it was possible, let's just take that idea again, right? Let's just say you go back to the idea of like the, chain link and such, right? What's one of the issues, right? I have to pay for that service.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens if I forget to pay for it? Is automation going to work? I mean,
it's a great question.
Well, I'm following him back because his username is follow back. And for that, sir, even though you lost 2 Bitcoin, at least James is following you back. I mean, I feel sorry for you, bro. That's rough, man. Also, rough. Shout out to my fellow African brother, Leges Biru is from Ethiopia. So shout out to you, my man. Also, thanks to Yugi, who says, thank you for all the good work as a whole super team. Greetings from Finland. See you in the better future, bros. Yeah, man. So appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Martin, again, he is the ultimate chatter. He is switching to X on his phone because he's off to gym. He's sending alcohol from Spain to Texas. It does seem to be tricky, but he's working on it, bro. Just keep some Spanish bottles of wine for us. Keep them in your cellar, wherever you may be, and we will come and visit you wherever you may be in Spain, my man. All right, so John, dude, there are 3 different challenges that we have in this hackathon this weekend. Challenge 1, on-chain automation unleashed. Challenge 2, AI agents and Supra, smarter contracts. Challenge 3, build dev tooling for the Supra stack. Each of those challenges has $5,000 each. So each of those 3 challenges has 3 different winners. First, second, and third place. That's $2.5K, $1.5K, and $1K per track. So that's how we have the total of $15,000 in prizes. Just take us through those 3, John, starting with on-chain automation unleashed, then we'll get through to the other 2. I mean, there's a lot to take in here. What are some of the options for builders that may be watching this who want to take part?
Yeah, I mean, right, you have the idea of automation, right? So, like I said, the idea is what? It's to automate something, right? So, when going through this whole entire process, right, what I recommend to do too is check out our resources. Like we've been really making sure we utilize the idea of making it very simple. Like I want to give a big shout out to Jotin. He has done an incredible job, especially on UI setups. I mean, we're simplifying the process substantially. You got to remember that, right, when you have such a high level architecture and design, right, it can sometimes make it a little bit more difficult because you have to look at certain parameters, right? So the UI that he made is just so substantial. And like I said, I know that we kind of like talked about this briefly. If you guys would like to, I can even show you these different resources so people can go into there and kind of like figure out where to go.
I say show us.
Yeah.
Chase, what do you say,
Okay.
sir?
Show me. Show me the money, Johnny boy.
So let me
show
move
me the money.
Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah. Wait, no. Maybe Napoon has to push that through on the back end. There we go.
There we go. We got it. We got you.
That's so weird why that's not. Huh.
No, we got you.
Okay, does that work?
I can see
you see my screen?
I can see it. Yeah. Napoon had to push it through on the back end.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, cool.
Shout out to Napoon.
Okay. Yeah, so right here's real quickly we have a GitHub, right? The GitHub is basically broken down in several sections, right? And I really want people to start looking at these because there are a ton of different options. It's extremely useful to use, and we try making it as clear as possible. We try not overwhelming the developer. So, right, number one, we have the hackathon handbook. We have different type of challenges we have. So, right, we do discussions on each of these sections. What's the expectations? What's the breakdown for each of these? What do we not? And then we also give you really good examples, right? I mean, like I said, the idea of being able to go on to here and say, hey, what's this? What's that? I mean, like, because in case you guys are and wanting to do these things, right? And the last challenge, of course, is going to be the third one. But right, so here are some of the resources, right? So now if we go back and let's just look, right? So the documentation for useful stuff. So we go into Supra's whole breakdown. If you guys are new to Move, check out the Supra Move book, right? Again, we try to really go through a process. This whole process is literally just explaining how Move works. Our goal of this is that we want to make this as comfortable and as safe as possible, and it's all in one area rather than having to go to all these different type of tabs and pieces and parts. It's like, okay, cool. It's all in one documentation, right? So then we also have the ability of making sure we have a block explorer, which if you guys don't have already the extension already has the built-in block explorer. Yes, I don't know if you guys have heard that already, but if you guys do get our extension, again, huge shout out to Jotin and Nolan's idea is that SuperScan is actually already embedded into the overall extension. So this simplifies this, but this is where you'll go and check to make sure everything's verifying, whether you're using automation or using any of the stuff. So some of the frameworks and SDK, making sure that we have our front end connecting with the back end. It's all done in TypeScript. And then, of course, StarKey, Supra's official wallet, right? So just so you know, those are from a few of the options, right? And then, if you guys aren't familiar here's some of our documentation. The documentation is going to show network information. We have different sections broken down. So if you're using a Move VM, that's where we're going to be, right? And so you can go through each of these sections. If you're not familiar with Supra, you want to get started. The best part is that we have really good support on hand. And this was from Nolan right now. If you guys do want to check it out, I know we will have it linked somewhere. But it's going to be Super Move. This is going to go through. He's making more and more workshops to make sure if you guys are trying to get into this now, start using and utilizing this stuff now if you're new to this. Because number one, make sure that you don't waste any of the time in the beginning while you are there, right? I mean, we have the idea of breaking down. He talks about everything, and he does a fantastic job bringing up analogies, showing why it wouldn't work and why it does work, right? If you're not familiar with Docker, if you're not familiar with the Super CLI or running our commands, these videos are the place to go, right? And in addition to this too, right, the native stack, right? Us breaking down each of the sections, talking about how all of our stuff works. Please come and check it out, right? The next thing too, just to kind of utilize, right, is if you get into, our idea of working with automation, right? We simplify the task, right? There's a few things you have to understand, right? Automation runs due to at the end of every block. And so you have to be familiar with how epochs work. If you guys have even heard that term before, James and James and Chase, have you ever heard of epochs and such?
Yeah, I actually play Diablo 4, and there's epochs in that game.
An epoch is related to block time and block count, right?
Correct. Yeah. So the epoch, right? Our duration is 7,200 seconds or 2 hours. So, right, what happens is that each of the epochs, right, is a reference to certain times, right? So when you run automation, you might run into a spot where you go, hey, my automation's not start, and it might be due to the end of the block, right? Which you can reference generally based on an epoch, right? So you can actually look at this and go, okay, it's normally like an hour and 40 minutes, which is why you want to start working on this now, right? But, right, again, once you do deployments, right, you connect your StarKey wallet, make sure it's already deployed, or just put your actual address inside here. You click on the module. So the actual module is going to be your smart contract name, the function, and it literally has already, it will pre-build everything out for you, and it generates it right here. You copy and paste it and put it into your CLI. It simplifies the process. I'm planning on putting out a video in the next day or so at least everyone can see this, right? But again, right, we have the idea of installing Super CLI. We have automation docs, the network details, support. We're all here to help, right? And then the last thing, if you are unfamiliar with the, with each of the bounties and you want to learn more, we do have a video right here also, a hackathon breaking down. It's going to change your career forever. And the idea of it is again, we are trying to re-innovate the idea of how, right, our blockchain is being able to actually use in hackathons, because the problem is right now, it's a lot of misguided situations. And we want to make sure developers are successful in this, not just walk away and all these graveyard dApps that get built and then they're just disappear for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, oh man, we need longer. We need longer with you, John.
Yeah, we do. We've been getting some good questions in the chat. I think we saved these for the end, though. Do you want to save kind of questions for John and about the hackathon until the end so we can get through our questions now, or do we want to start kind of answering some of these?
Yeah, I say let's go through some of them now.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Haim, Martin Dude, any official StarKey connect to wallet package out there yet? Did it myself at the moment, digging through the windows.starkey object.
So we do have something. It's not exactly a package. Kind of do, but kind of don't. We do, but we don't. There is a template on our docs. If you go to, I can kind of at least elaborate a little bit more. Let me show you my screen one more time just so you can figure out where we're about. This is where, it's funny enough, I'm actually writing a paper on this too. But if I go to Super's docs, if I go down here and see where it says, what was that?
Where are you going to publish that paper, just out of interest sake?
It's going to be on DevWire. So it will be, if you guys haven't subscribed already, please make sure you have it on DevWire. I've been trying to make sure that people understand how important Supernova is and how important all these different templates and how being able to utilize this as an option to do. So again, this was built out from our incredible DevRel or DevHav. I think he's technically considered as DevRel, but Jotin, and it's a really good template. It breaks down each of these, and what it does is it gives you Bootstrap. And just so you know, right here, here's an example that we can use as a front integration between a StarKey wallet. So if you guys are confused at all and there's confusion about how to integrate this, how to use any of this stuff, make sure that you use these templates and use as a reference, right? Figure out how we do this and how we work on this and how the expectation of connecting that back into the front end works. But this is right here as an example. So you can see this right here. Like I said, it's under the Move VM, and it's going to be at the Super dApp templates.
Love it. So here's a question I have for you, my man. I am not a developer.
Okay.
I am a builder. I build stuff in my backyard all the time. I'm a builder. But I'm not a developer. I'm not a researcher. I'm not a code viber. It's just not what I do. But here is a question that I do want to ask you. Can anyone build on Supra? Does it take any type of serious like Web3, Python, Rust experience? Or let's say I want to learn. I'm a really fast learner. Would I be able to build on Supra, and how long would it take me?
Yeah, so I mean, right, we got to go step by step on it, but yeah, absolutely you can. You can build on anywhere, right? I promise you that this is going to be one of the big things. You just have to take the chance, right? And so, right, yeah, so we are doing right now, just so you know too, and this is also going to be done this week. We are also going to be making sure that we have a full step by step. Literally, I've done a 3-part video of literally by scratch when you download Cursor, how you download Docker, and then how you download Super CLI, and then we're going to get into how you use CLI's actual programming. It's going to be on our YouTube. It will get posted eventually, probably. It's going to be hopefully this week. We're just waiting for small little things. But right, what this is this, it helps utilize the idea of you starting, right? You said you're brand new into this. You want to get started. here's exactly where you'll start to be basically working on our architecture. The good part too is we do plan on also showing off the ability of getting some MoveVM. And so what we're doing is actually like more responsiveness, where if you want to learn the language of Move, a lot of it's very relatively simple, but I recommend there wasn't a lot of, usages previously because, a lot of people weren't using it and we couldn't be able to see, but go on YouTube, check out how to use Move. You can learn it literally starting just because, even just beginning like, hello world, right? I mean, everyone's favorite term to get started, right? Anyone can do this, right? And I promise you, it doesn't take very long. Let's just say, as an example, you start at absolute scratch, right? You need to know a little bit about Move, but the good part is that requires you to actually download Super CLI first, right? Since right now we don't have some sort of an IDE to make it easy for you. So what you have to go through is the process of downloading it. Once after that, take that reference, start learning how to run, how to build a smart contract, start running tests on it, and just get used to how does, and then this is where you start to look into it. But you'll learn like, mapping in EVM is different from how you map in MoveVM, right? So if you want to get started, it is not going to be hard, especially if you've been already native to a language. If you've been in smart contract before, it will be very simple. Ultimately, there are slight changes, but you'll get the idea. You'll understand how constructors work. You'll understand how all these things work. If you're absolute scratch, start checking out our videos. We're absolutely going to start plowing on them to making sure that everyone can develop. Again, like I said, it's going to be sometime this week. We'll have a post on it. But yeah, keep your eye on there. I don't think it will take very long for you to understand these.
I think the idea of developing in Web3 is a hard concept to step into, right? But like you said, and this goes with a lot of things. It's like the hardest thing to do is just getting started. And a lot of the time, if you are a developer, if you have a builder type focused mind, yeah, it's going to be hard for you to step in and learn something new. But the thing is if you're like me, or if you're like most people that are builders or creatives, just brain wise, once you start getting the puzzle pieces, it becomes so much more fun. Now you're addicted to building. Now you're trying to figure it out because it becomes fun to you. It's not no more like, oh, I'm trying to learn something. It's like, holy shit, I'm learning something. And not only am I learning something, I'm building something cool out of it. So that's talking about the developer as a whole, but let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the me generation of builder. There's a lot of talking about vibe coding lately. And I know that we have two people on our team that do it all the time. There's videos coming out. There will be some sort of a live stream kind of based off of live vibe coding. That's all I'll say. But in a nutshell, John, what is vibe coding? What is it? Explain to me what vibe coding is, especially for the people that maybe don't understand.
Yeah, it generally generally sits towards the idea of people who are not comfortable developing right now. And so what they do is they go to using AI to be able to help kind of support them in it. And so what the idea of it is I'm building some sort of a smart contract, right? And I need help. So what I do is I go to AI and I basically have AI on the side, whether it's through Cursor, whether through, ChatGPT, whether using Sora. If you guys ever seen what Sora is, it's integrated into ChatGPT for coding, right? If you're getting any of that stuff, what it does is you allow basically yourself to start building, but because you are new to it, right? It kind of is it's a bit of a standpoint. So what you do is you utilize the idea of AI to be able to help you support and build stuff that you couldn't normally do if you didn't have this option.
Have you ever vibe coded?
No, I've utilized, of course, AI. I've never actually sat there and just had AI build it out for me. I've done it for front end though. I have to snitch myself out a little bit there. Front end's brutal. I mean, if you guys are front end developers, I give some props to you guys. You guys always get the end of the stick. I'm sorry.
And
just real quick, Chase. Sorry, bro. It does. I've run a quick test on my side. It does look like, unfortunately, I think it could be an X problem, but for some reason the chat is no longer working. So
yours is not working either?
Yeah, it looks like the chat isn't working on X. So if you have any more questions, just at us, Chase or myself, we'll pick it up in our notifications, or you'll go over to YouTube. I think that I haven't tested that. That might be, here we go. It looks like
I just saw someone pop up.
There we go. Vivek says, I'm a first year comp science student. Can you provide a map for the optimal coding path?
Guys,
but I am jumping.
What a great question, by the way.
Wow, dude. Yeah. What's so funny is I leverage this idea all the time. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So just so you know right now, again, we are going to be having YouTube videos. I promise you, I'll literally go through step by step from literally the beginning to end. Keep your eye out, Vivek, in the next 3 days, 2 days. We are absolutely going to be doing a lot of development stuff. And what we're going to be doing is making sure we have step-by-step from absolute scratch. But yeah, mapping out for optimating coding. Yeah, I mean, so we'll have literally from that piece, we'll have it all on our GitHub too to make it easier. So if you're trying specifically for the hackathon, check out all of our stuff for the Super Dev Hub / Super Hackathon. That's where you can see. I don't know if it's good to put the link inside here. I'm just going to pass this over to. I'll pass this over right now, just so Napoon got this, so you can shout this out too. So that right there is going to be where we have all of our permissionless stuff. If you're curious about it, you want to get started, this is where you'll start for this. But if you're brand spanking new and you're trying to get into this, I will have a lot of extra stuff for you.
I'll post that on my X right now as well.
There you go. Love that. Thank you, James. And so I kind of did allude to this a little bit with speaking about Jatine. But will vibe coding ever be a thing on Supra? I know that me and Jatine kind of have something planned. John, I know you know a little bit about it as well. Napoon too. But will vibe coding ever be a thing on Supra? Is this something that we do want to teach our community and our builders?
Absolutely, right. Number one, it's the same thing as, I mean, if some people will say, well, that's not fair because the people they don't understand how to use code. It's like, well, at the same time, right, we don't want to limit people. It's like, does AI limit you any less? I mean, it's still a valid point in these things. I absolutely think we should be doing it, right? We should incentivize people to come and start using it. Why? It's because once you start seeing the beauty of it, like Chase said previously, it's addicting. It's fun, right? You see the hello world and you actually see a result and you're like, it's like writing Python, right? You write print, put in parentheses, put the, it's like, okay, it says hello. It's like you see it in a result and you're like, oh my God, it's inside the compiler. Here, here's this, right? It's nice to see these things. And I think the good part is once you get started, it's hard to stop.
Yeah. And I think, so here's a perfect parallel from a Web 2 perspective. And it hit me the other day. Like my son Archer, he loves Legos, and like a small Lego set will take him, and I'm saying small, 150 pieces will take him like 3 hours, but he doesn't ask for any help. But at the end of it, he is so stoked. And it's just the joy that comes out of him. So for me, I was thinking about like, what if I was a new builder on Supra and I just wanted to learn how to build? And that would be my Lego moment, like pushing the code through, getting a confirmation. I did it. Holy shit. I built my Lego set. And I think that like seeing a child's joy in something so simple could be easily paralleled to a first-time smart contract builder.
It's a dopamine. The reason why people fail
is because
they don't see. Yeah, the reason why people fail is because they don't see a result. As long as you can confirm that you see a result and people can see these things, that's when it starts to. It's the curiosity that then goes, whoa, what is going on?
What could I do? Yeah. What else could I do now? I love that. I can't still see questions, so I'm sorry. If anybody's wondering if you've said anything to me in the comments, I haven't responded. I'm not being rude. I just can't see anything. They're all blacked out. So I'm sorry if anybody has said anything to us over the last 10 or 15 minutes.
And then just to add in, since we're kind of with the community thing, one thing I wanted to add into with the hackathon coming up, I want you guys all to just understand one thing, right? When I got into doing development, I knew exactly, because we were in a bearish market. It was starting to get real popular. A lot of different companies were starting to invest into blockchain. Stable coins were coming out, between PayPal, people were starting to accept it. It was getting really well recognized. There's all these different things. And when I wanted to get started, right, I literally, and this sounds crazy, I took the class. The class was great. I was able to learn it. I did fantastic in it. I overall got out, and it was hard to get a job, right? I have no experience in this type of stuff. And so one of the things like later on, right, that we got into is I started basically learning how to build more and more and more. And it took me to a point where I was able to actually build something. And then I went, whoa. And at one point in time, right, I got offered up a job, and they said, well, what do you want me to pay you? I said, nothing, free. I said, and I worked there for over 8 months while working at my current job, right? And it took a lot out of me, right? And it was harsh, but I built a full DApp. I was the backend. I did the backend smart contract in an EVM. I learned what Aurora. This is where I got all my experience. But I did that because I knew that my next step was going to be towards a good direction. I was really excited. I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and this is it. And what I'm trying to get to this, and where the parallel comes to the hackathon, is we don't just offer up money to you guys. Just so you guys all know, right? We also offer up a literal job. Like, I just want to stop there quickly, guys. A literal job. If I had the opportunity of doing this, I would be spending day and night looking for these things. Why? It's because if you want to get in Web3 and you want to make it different in your life and you really want to start building something out and joining and start seeing how this works, this is the best time. It's better to start than to start in the next week, the next month, start doing it now. Stop waiting, right? I promise you right now. Even I understand that it's hard. We have other resources now in this world. But what I'm saying is the hackathon is going to offer you the ability of doing these things. And I'm so excited to show this off to you guys. I'm so excited to see who's able to build and develop on us. And then on top of that too, right, you have ecosystem funding. We're not just limiting you guys, right? We really want you guys to come and build and come join Supra. This is super, super exciting, guys.
Also worth mentioning that Crystara, arguably, I mean, with all respect to the other projects working on Supra, but arguably one of the leading NFT platforms on Supra, Crystara, started from a guy that entered a hackathon. He entered the Movers Hackathon, was one of the winners, and secured himself some funding and is now building out an entire NFT platform on Supra's L1 purely from that hackathon. So as you say, John, like there's so much opportunity here for funding, there's opportunity for work, for career opportunities, and even starting your own project. So I love that, man.
Yeah, not only a project, but a business. It's like a lot of these guys, they're not the main focus for them is not short term. They're not looking into 6 months, or they're not looking into 3 months from when they're launching. They're looking into years down the road and wanting to be a pivotal part in the Supra ecosystem. And I just have so much respect for these projects coming and building on Supra. It does take a lot to come and transition not only an idea, but a project, but a team. And so just I want to throw all the flowers to all the projects that are constantly building on Supra now. We see y'all. I show love every time that I can. I see your posts. I post them myself. So yeah, just shout out to the builders, man.
Yeah, and to Vivek, Vivek says he's new to this channel. I mean, I love that. That's what these live streams are all about. It brings in new people to the Supra ecosystem. Obviously, it's about supporting the community and those of you that are all part of this, but it gives an opportunity to showcase what we're all about to new people. So Vivek, my friend, John K is the man to speak to. He is busy, but he's on X. Find him. I will get your handle right now. J Kupchenko. I never know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but just search up John Kupchenko. You'll find him. He is J Kupchenko 41535. And follow him and check out our docs, man. If you check out our docs, you'll find out more about what we're all about as an L1, and hopefully find yourself a career in Web3.
Better start now. I'm telling you right now, and especially with like the channel stuff, like what to kind of like elaborate, like what we're doing right now is we're literally going from the absolute basics and we're going to plan on going to high level, building out a full DApp. And we really want to make sure, and I think it's even kind of like one of the questions that I used to always put is like, where's the roadmap, right? What's the incentive of a person stopping here? It's like, well, we need to make sure that it's very clear in where they're going and where they're going to be, right? And it's like I said, I'm very excited. It's going to go from literally learning Cursor, learning Docker, learning how to use our CLI, how to use every single option between using our tools, our profiles, how to fund it, the whole 9 yards, exactly what you will need. And then right after this, guys, what we'll do too is we'll get into learning how to build the dApps, how to everything. I promise you, this will be something, and we're working on it. And I promise you, we're piling on trying to put these things out right now. It's coming.
I love it. I love it. And John, we are kind of getting to the end of this, but I do have a question for you. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you have a busy day. We all have busy days, but especially with events coming up. And I don't know if anybody here listening has ever been a part of events, but if you've ever been a part of events, the 2 weeks leading up to events, I cannot stress how stressful these 2 weeks are. It's like we've been planning for months and months and months, and then it comes down to the last 2 weeks, and you don't realize how many things that are left untied until the last 2 weeks. So everybody's running around with chickens like with their heads cut off that are involved into the event. But John, for me, I'm just most excited for it to be over. But for you, what are you most excited for to come out of this hackathon? Like, is there anything, any concept or idea that you have? Because obviously when you think about a project or an idea, it's like, oh man, I would love for something like this to come out, or I would love for somebody to go in this direction. Do you have like a ideal outcome for one of these projects?
Yeah, I mean, so ideally, here's what my thought is, right? Some guy comes inside here, he sees something that he really loves, right? To the point to where he can see the future, right? He doesn't just look in the beginning. He looks in his little future ball and he goes, I can see me doing this, this, and this, right? He gives us a little bit of like a taste of it. We all love it because we can see it's some sort of a pain point. It's some sort of something that we need. It's some sort of a benefit to Supra and overall the ecosystem, making sure that everyone is having fun, whether it's involving into NFTs, right? I mean, Chase, we've been talking about this forever right now, right? The opportunities for this. I don't have an exact DAP, but I would say is I'm very, very excited to see what people can do to really use these tools, because I think one of the hard parts about it is it's a lot of talk, right? It's a lot of, oh, here's automation, use it, use it, use it. But the second you start to put it on some sort of a DAP and you start to use how it's using and it's bulletproof, I think that's where I'm super excited to see these options, right? So start integrating the idea of AI and having automation to this, right? I mean, start getting outside of the box in this. I'm just so excited to see what ecosystem is going to come and join on this. And I know that this is going to be one of the ones because we're ready for it and we really want to help support the idea of whoever wants this. I promise you, we will give you the chance.
And if you're a builder, what else do you want to hear? Right? Like, we're going to support, we want to support you. We want to be the avenue for you to come build something that you never thought was possible. Like that's when I talk to people, like, why would I want to build on Supra? It's like, well, have you ever had an idea that like wasn't possible before? It's like, well, now you actually have the opportunity to be able to build something not only incredible, but one of its kind. The thing about Web3, it's very, very competitive. The cool thing today is not the cool thing tomorrow. The project pumping today is not the project pumping tomorrow. And so there's a very fine line of, can you stay cool? And the thing about what Supra's doing, in my opinion, what makes me so bullish is that we are pushing the envelope in multiple ways. We are pushing the envelope for builders and for just blockchain technology as a whole. And for me, that's super, super exciting. Are we early? I think we're all a little bit early. I think Web3 in general is still early. But are things starting to get established? Are governments starting to recognize this? Absolutely. 3 to 5 years down the road, we're going to see a totally different landscape of blockchain. And in my opinion, Supra will be leading that charge. This is not financial advice. This is do your own research. This is somebody that's been working at Supra for almost 2 years now. I see the team that we have. I see the people that we have working on these projects. I see the community that's being built. I'm bullish. I'm bullish on John. I'm bullish on our builders. I'm bullish on our developer and research team. Everybody at Supra, I'm your biggest fan. And that's all I had to say, man. Thank you, John.
Wow. Okay, so we are out of time. I'm very bullish on Chase, as Mifune is. I'm very bullish on Chase. But we are out of time. But I'm gonna ask this one final question. We did have another one. Martin Dude as well just said he appreciates all the FE credits. Thank you, sir. There was another one from Bro, but unfortunately, sir, if you are watching, I'm not. Just for time, I can't get into that one. I'm going to go with this one. Final question of the night. Sreeman, what advice would you give to this man, John? I'm a full stack developer. What is the way I should follow to build smart contracts, learn blockchains, and I'm not a student? How can I participate in hackathons in order to land a job? What advice would you give to someone like that? Full stack developer, obviously new to blockchain, new to smart contracts. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, absolutely. So just like I said, again, I'm going to really clarify on this on our YouTube. Please keep your eye out on this, because number one, we are going to be helping you go through this whole entire process from literally start to finish. So keep that eye out. That's going to be a good resource to get started in smart contracting, learning how our infrastructure actually works. One thing I would say is if you're getting into it right now, start looking online. I'm not going to give a shout out to the actual name. I learned something a while back. You can either go to the Move book, which is going to be generally difficult if you're not into this, and it's kind of something because they have a little bit harder, kind of like smart contracts that might be used there, but you'll understand the idea. So utilize the idea of the Move book, and then additions to this too, look on YouTube and say, how do I learn Move? And there's a step-by-step, several parts, start building onto learning it, right? Then the next part of this is once you learn the smart contract, you have to understand how the infrastructure works, which is where that YouTube videos are going to come into there. The last thing is learn, since you're a front-end developer, I'm sorry, I love front-end development, full stack, but I love front-end developing, but it's extremely difficult, and I know exactly how that feels. One of the burden that you get with a smart contract is you need to make sure the smart contract is solid, because it gets compiled, it gets put into a build file, it's not adjustments, you can't update on the go. So learn how to build the smart contract out. Then what you want to learn is how you connect the back end to your front end. Those are the three things I would recommend to get started. Learn Move, learn our infrastructure, jump on top of there. We will have it literally set up in the next little bit, and we are trying to literally make sure we help you guys get through the process and have a roadmap, because I know this is one of probably the most common question. I'm in this stuff. How do I join now? How do I get into this? And then getting into the idea of a hackathon. Sometimes we do have online ones. We recommend if you really want to learn, go to the hackathons that are in person. You don't need to, right? But since you're a front-end developer, you can be extremely, and it's a hard thing. But if you're a front-end developer and you understand it very well, learn how it connects them with the back end and work with the team. Find out somebody and have experience into that direction, and just start building stuff out there. Start speaking with people and start joining it, whether it's going to be on some sort of a online, going to people's websites and start being able to show that you can do these projects. But start jumping into it now. That is the best way of doing it, right? You already have a front end, you have experience, that's strong leverage. Now what you need to do is actually show that you can build this.
Great question from Stream Man.
I've also shared that link on the same X post that I shared earlier about all of the hackathons on Supra's GitHub page. Underneath that, I've shared that Move book. So go check it out. James Bond Sama, real simple James Bond Sama. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're following Chase Supra. And of course, make sure you're following Jay Kupchenko. John, this has been amazing, bro. Thank you so much. Can't wait for this hackathon this weekend. Can't wait to see what comes out of this hackathon. Chase, you're going to be at Permissionless. When do you arrive in New York City, bro?
I get there on the 23rd. I think the hackathon is the 21st and 22nd. So I'll be flying in after the hackathon to be there for Josh's speech. And then I got to set up the kickoff party. So I have a lot of things going in that. If you are going to be in Brooklyn, let me know. I have some stuff that I would love to give you. Also, if you are going to be going to Permissionless or NFT NYC, which are both going to be kind of running simultaneously, holler at your boy. I will be there. I have a care package for you. We have the best merch that we have ever had at an event coming out this at Permissionless. I will bring some care packages home so I can give them away to our beautiful community members that aren't going to be able to make it. I will get one to you, James. I promised you I would. John, I will also set one aside for you.
I'm good with my South African cricket jacket.
Okay, wow. All right, this guy is not a supporter. This guy is not a supporter. Anyways, I will put some stuff over to the side for our community because I do want y'all to get it. We have T-shirts. We have. Oh wait, I'm actually not even gonna say it. I almost just went on a spiel and just leaked everything that we. Is that it? What kind of hoodie was that? Hey.
Nope. Nope. Not gonna say.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Not gonna say. Guys, this has been such a great stream. I mean, it's been a while since we went this long over time. It has flown by. John, final comments from you, bro.
Yeah, I just want to say, first off, thank you guys for watching. The second thing I'd like to say, too, is that thank you, Chase and James, for inviting me. Napoon, thank you. But the big thing I want everyone to know is, guys, start educating yourself on these things and really get into this. Don't feel like you're limited right now, right? Just because Move VMs, having the idea of doing this right now in a hackathon, we will be having online ones. We will be having it. We will have inside of Ethereum. We will have all these different EVM. If you guys will, don't limit yourself there. We will be there. I promise you. You will have the opportunity. The only thing I would say is just make sure that you have everything locked and loaded and you're ready to go.
Yep.
Amazing.
And hey, if y'all have any developer questions, join our Discord if you're not already in there, and go in our dev section. We have Jatine and John in there all the time answering questions. So if you do have any questions or concerns and you don't know how to reach us quickly, go in there, tag them. They'll get to you as soon as possible. But again, John, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, man. We appreciate you coming on here every single time that we're able to have you. We love you. I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you guys, and have a good rest of your guys' day.
And you too, John.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll catch you guys next week. Next week, Chase is live from Permissionless. Join us then. We'll be half an hour late. It's going to be amazing. We'll see you then. Until next time, peace.
Peace.